Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of STROTA Consultech, it's a business consulting company helping small and medium businesses for the last 5 years. And with this HATKE concept, we have been speaking to a lot of personalities, a lot of business leaders, corporate figures, and individuals who have, have their own aspirations. They are inspired, they are focused, and they're completely undeterred by the kind of pandemic issues or being constrained or not able to move and the business not working. They are absolutely away from it. And we have a great privilege to have Vidya Moorthy with us, who is the CEO of Bassett Education, and she's into strategic communication. And thanks so much, Vidya ji, to have come to this forum.
Thank you, Sirish. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. So as we get started, there's this notion of now slowly this pandemic has gone. There's some sense of flattening of the curve, as they say, and slowly this lockdown is getting opened. So how do you see this scenario? What are the takeaways or lessons learned that we want to take from what we have learned in that difficult phase now, Vidya?
Thank you. Thank you, Sirish. It's really nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be in conversation, and I'd like to lay out that yes, I am here in professional capacity as the head of an organization, but more importantly, I'm here as just another human being, as a mother. I have two daughters, and all of us, I think, our human side, our personal side, is just as important as our professional side,
Absolutely.
if not more. If not more. So I would like to define the context with which I'm in conversation with you here today, Sirish. In terms of lessons learned, takeaways, whether the curve has flattened or not, there are many signs that we are perhaps on the road to maybe resuming some economic activities. There is no doubt about it. I just have to step outside my own house on the main road, and I can see a whole another Baner, which is encouraging, definitely. But what I think is that I don't think we should be audacious enough to predict how nature swings. I think that there is a certain element of unpredictability in the way Mother Nature works. So I think it is wise for all of us to be prepared from this point on for the road to turn in any which direction. There are many things that can happen. We can all just move along, develop herd immunity. If today we are functioning at 20 to 30% capacity, maybe in 1 month's time that will go up to 50, 60%, and we'll all get back on our feet up. The other thing that could happen is that because of this herd mingling, and God forbid we see an astronomical rise in cases, and we enter into another period of lockdown come July, because all of this mingling might happen. It might. You never know which way it swings and what happens.
Right.
What I have learned, Sirish, is that none of us can control the storm. Right? None of us can control the storm, but we can adjust our sails. I have a very close friend, and I was just talking with something about what their grandfather had said. They said, "Jo beh gaya wo pani, jo reh gaya so Ganga."
Kya baat hai? Super.
Jo beh gaya wo pani, jo reh gaya wo Ganga. And so either which ways, I think that let us take back and stay positive. Let's not cry over what is lost. Let's look at what we have. And I think in terms of my hardcore learnings is that this lockdown has forced us all to look inward. So I think my greatest takeaway is lockdown. We've spent 50 to 55 days with the most important people in the most comfortable place in the world, which is our own home. Right?
It starts with finding yourself, finding the new me, and then the relations.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And you're staying with the people who matter the most. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on how blessed you are. Our houses are all comfortable. We have no dearth for anything. There is no need to imagine the problems outside and fret and fume and see the media, the news, which is all so depressing. Um, so, one, my first takeaway is gratitude. The second, I think, biggest takeaway for me is empathy. Because, Sirish, it's become very important for all of us to do what we can, wherever we are, for whomever we can.
Mm.
जितना हम कर सकते हैं, जिसके लिए भी कर सकते हैं, और जो भी कर सकते हैं, that has become very, very important.
Amazing
So, in
message.
that term, I think that it is very, what would I say, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
very almost fulfilling to be able to do something for somebody else, however small.
I think it's a
That,
great message to have this gratitude. And you, as you were speaking about the Mother Earth, I was just speaking to somebody who has got a deeper knowledge into this. And it is, if you just watch it as a third person, it's only human beings which are caged, if I may use that word. Everything
correct.
else is running. Everything is running without any stop. And maybe, if we go to a little bit of mythological view, we call something called as pralay. If at all there is a lot of bad things happening, lot of pap there, injustice, then God will create that and you wash it completely. So I think it's a phase where everything is got cleansed, and Mother Nature maybe wanted that kind of a time. And it's okay if you don't do business that time. It's okay if you really don't go outside. Nothing is harming. But now, if at all it is reviving, I think it's a circle back. I believe that is something that is where, if we are not giving that gratitude by ourselves, we are kind of forced by the destiny to give that back. And that's where, the Mother Nature definitely deserves it. I believe that is the way,
True,
right?
true, true. I think we all have according to Hindu mythology, we have four yugas,
Mm.
and the difference between the four yugas is the proportion of dharma and adharma. That is the fundamental difference between the four yugas. Between the Satya Yuga and today's Kali Yuga, that is the fundamental difference. So I think to go back to what you were saying, Sirish, Mother Nature has probably said enough of adharma, and mankind, unfortunately, I think is the most wicked person in nature, wicked creature in nature. As a race, we are destructive. There is no doubt about that. So maybe all have to just slam the brakes, and that's what we did.
Wonderful. I was just thinking as this pandemic started that there is no revenue, there is no money transactions apart from what money we spent or anybody spends for the most essential commodities. I was just thinking, what is the currency? What is the currency of exchange right now in this phase? Just thinking maybe, the thoughts, the positivity we can give, the kind of compassion we can build, the kind of goodwill we can develop, something good that, virtue that we can get. So in your view, do you match in this, or you have some different hatke thought about what's the currency of now?
It's a beautiful question, Sirish. Um, my father told me this, and he was not a businessman. So, excuse me. My father said that money is only worth what it can buy. And I
Mhm.
think in this lockdown, nobody is spending on lifestyle. We are only spending on life. We are
Wow.
spending on groceries, electricity, internet bill. That's it. There is no other very significant expense because nobody is going out, so there is no lifestyle expense. So I think that not just during this lockdown, I hope that goodwill, genuineness, good humanity remains our currency for all time to come. I
Mhm.
think that I read somewhere that the total weight of the coronavirus on the planet today, of the entire, how many ever bacteria and how many ever millions of people who've been impacted by it,
Mhm.
is only 1 gram.
Okay.
Is only 1 gram. So we've been brought to a halt, the whole planet, by 1 gram of virus. I think we should all learn now to be humble, to be nice to each other, to be positive, to be encouraging, to be supportive. I learn from you, you learn from me, I support you support me. It's not about competition every time.
Mm.
It's not about what the balance sheet says every time. I know we have accountability to shareholders, to board of trustees, to customers. I'm not, veering away from the real side of things for a minute, but I really believe that all of these things are going to be naturally woven into the way we all do business from this point on.
I think very nicely put. I keep on thinking about, in this pandemic also and earlier, there had been some degree of resistance towards technology at some pockets, in some pockets, and say in education for that matter. And that's something that is, your home ground, your main field. I saw that, there was a very strong conviction that no, your students have to come to the school or college, and then that's how the education is. That's it, and they cannot work from home. So this is completely removed. Where I see, children with mobile or iPad or tablet or desktops, and their classes are going on. And so, do you think that this either technology part or this natural force brings a change that was kind of getting resisted, conveniently, not conveniently? Do you think that is a boon for us?
I think adaptation to new technologies, whether it is forced or whether it is voluntary, whether it is something that you do willingly, I think that all the technological skills that all of us have learned as a business community is going to be good for us in the long run. I think that first, initially, the first 2 weeks of the lockdown, we were all, looking at what is the functionality in WebEx, what is the functionality in Zoom, how can I upload videos on YouTube. After we figured it out from a functional aspect, Sirish, we are now using it to connect on a human level, like this
Wow.
conversation we are having.
Hmm.
Okay, and I might not see you, though I would love for you to come over to our office,
Yeah.
but I might not see you, may see you, haven't seen you in a while, and that's okay. But professionally, we both are connected. I know that you're out there doing your best for the business community as an experienced professional. You have a certain amount of respect for me, and I think that that is the power of technology now. Is first it helped us from a functional standpoint, and now it helps us from a psychological and an emotional standpoint as well.
Wonderful. I think that's really nicely put. I wonder, you have been in this space where you've been meeting real, esteemed personalities, and I saw you taking interviews of the who's who and CXOs and CEOs.
Thank you.
Uh, how is your takeaway from them or learning from that space of people? How are they looking at the current state? Are they grounded? Are they humble? Are they kind of agitated? Or how is your lookout uh, on how they feel?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough, I think, to be able to interact with some of the world's best in terms of leadership skills, in terms of building teams, caring for people, caring for products, changing the game in their respective domains. But what I really do believe, Sirish, is that they are extraordinarily individuals who've taken modern business science, strategy, and combined that with grandmother's wisdom.
Oh, is it? Oh,
I think that that is the only way that they have been able to accomplish and will continue to accomplish, all of these incredible things that they are doing. Uh,
hmm.
जैसे बोलते हैं हिंदी, जितना ऊंचा जाएंगे हम उतने जोर से गिरते भी हैं. So the higher you go, the harder you fall. So the thing here is they are very, very, uh, what would I say, cognizant. They're very knowing of the impact of their leadership, not just on their own lives, but on the lives of lakhs of families, lakhs of people. And I think that I'm in awe of their awareness levels, of their sensitivity, of their capability to strategize, capability to connect. But again, Sirish, the only way forward that I see is all of us leaning on each other.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think that's what, the world's best leaders will do. Countries are leaning on each other, governments are collaborating, and and we have no choice but to become like that, to reach out and ask for help and be willing to help.
Wonderfully put. I think that takes me a little bit on the leadership, as as it is said, that as you grow, as you rise, and it is a little bit kind of scary, but it said that you are alone, and that's where
Yeah, it's lonely at the top.
right, it's lonely at the top. I'm putting it carefully because it's not that it is not that negative. But the communication and connection, the portion communication is definitely something which is near and dear. I'm trying to bring that thread of how important is the communication, and then the second part, which comes as an engagement part of HATKE, which is E of engagement. How that becomes extremely important for the leadership to be always remaining connected, always communicating.
I think that if you look around in our own families, any family that has, let's say, children below the age of 20, 21, um, I think that children are looking to their parents for a sense of security, for entertainment, for
Mhm.
a sense of normalcy, for a sense of routine, for a sense of financial security. And I think that if you expand that concept to corporations, I think entry level maintenance staff, mid level managers, C suite executives, they're all looking to the C level, the CEO, the board of trustees for this connect, to
Mhm.
be reassured, to know that there is a way forward, to know that we are all going to come out of this by working together, by holding hands.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a very favorite saying of mine that, when you play a symphony, you know what a symphony is, where you have the
Mhm.
violinist and the cello.
Right.
You can't whistle a symphony.
Okay.
You can whistle only a tune. You
Right.
cannot whistle a symphony.
Agreed.
Nobody can work alone. And I think at their levels, they know that. And they know that their voices are so reassuring, so powerful, so needed. And it determines the morale, the productivity, the economics, and the strategy of the company moving forward. The vibes that a CEO puts out today, that an MD puts out today, that a president puts out today is, I think, the single most important factor in determining how the team functions.
It's a
I really
wonderful,
believe that.
it's wonderful way of bringing out a business as a symphony, each one playing their own tunes to really make it together. And there is the orchestrator, maybe the senior leadership, who is actually knowing where the notes have to be, who has to start where, who has to stop. It could be a supply chain, it could be an end-to-end value chain, and
Sure,
they know where it is going, whether it is generating some degree of happiness. What is the tone of this symphony? They know it very well. I think very
yes.
nicely put. Very nicely put. Uh,
Thank you. Thank you.
Going further, and something about your persona, and I was just thinking, what keeps you, what keeps you going every day, or something like a hobby that keeps you always looking forward for doing it? Yeah, that is my passion. Is there something, Vidya, that you have where you get your heart absolutely pouring, and you feel that you are in your own space?
Absolutely, Sirish. I think, as we all, I'm sure, as a husband, as a son, as a father, you're caring for people in your life. And I think that when we have to care for others, the most important thing is we should know how to care for ourselves first so that we can care for others.
Right.
And I think that this lockdown has demolished the myth that I had that I need to be on the run every single day.
Uh-oh.
That it has demolished that for me. that हमको ये करना ही है, 10-15 घंटे ऑफिस में रहना ही है,
Oh,
तभी काम होगा, इतने मीटिंग्स एक दिन में होना ही है, इतने सेशंस मेरे होने हैं हफ्ते में. All of that is demolished. And and like I said in the beginning, it forces us to look inward. So in line with the HATKE initiative, what I can say is, from the health perspective, um, as a family, both my daughters are dancers. My older one is getting ready for her Arangetram in Bharatnatyam. As a family, we move away all the furniture from our living room, and we just have an exercise session with music at least, I would say, 3 days a week, which
mm,
is just a blessing because my mother-in-law also joins.
super.
And it is a beautiful feeling for me to see and feel blessed in that moment that we have three generations who are moving to different kinds of music.
Excellent.
Okay, so for the health perspective, and also from a we kind of have very creatively balanced my kitchen with using tasty recipes and healthy recipes.
Home food.
Unfortunately, very sadly for my husband, he lives with four women, his mother, me, and two daughters. So
It's interesting.
even our dog is female. So
Okay.
so yes, so we balance the kitchen as well between tasty fried foods and healthy foods, and we do that.
Right.
Um, about the attitude, uh, I really believe we are going to be okay. I think that in many ways, no insult at all to the loss of life and the challenge outside. My prayers, my wishes to every family that is suffering out there. But for those of us who are fortunate enough to have been untouched by it so far, this has been a blessing. This has been a blessing to be forced to hit the stop button and look inward. And I think that we should all continue to be positive and celebrate what we have and be thankful for what we have, right? Technology coming to the T, obviously we've embraced new ways, not just professionally for connecting with people, new tools to share documents, to hold virtual meetings, and all of that, but even as a family. I'm now seeing cousins, and we are putting together medleys of songs. In fact, as a family initiative, all of us and we have a large family, so everybody is singing three lines in Rag Yaman,
Uh-uh.
and we all put those the videos together, and technology at its use, and now we have a beautiful video where cousins of mine from Sydney to Dubai and Chennai and me and my daughters, we are all singing songs in Rag Yaman.
Wow.
So
That's
technology, I think, is both personal and professional.
true.
Yeah, and the key, the knowledge that you are focusing on, I we discovered things about the world, facts, and about ourselves
Hmm.
in such interesting ways, and engaged in so many discussions with each other, just like this conversation, Sirish. Had Corona not been there, you and I would have never explored this.
True.
I would have never known Sirish, the human.
Mm.
And that is why I think our knowledge continues to expand into various domains, right? And and the E stands for, please, if you could refresh my memory, please.
Engagement. Engage.
Engagement. And what is it that all of us are doing, Sirish? We are continuing to engage with our families, with our customers, with our team members, with our staff members, with our bosses, with our peers, with our vendors, with our
Hmm.
strategic partners. Um, it's engagement on a whole another level. And in fact, this engagement is of very good quality,
Hmm.
because now when I pick up the phone and talk to a strategic partner, I'm always thinking about, oh, your father-in-law lives with you. How is he?
क्या बात है?
And had it not been for coronavirus, हम एक दूसरे से ये सवाल कभी नहीं पूछते.
Mm.
So I think in terms of engagement, it is at a deeper and more meaningful level.
I think it's nicely laid down, and I see it's a completes the circle, either at the personal level, or the family level, or the relative level, or the society level, and in between, I believe very important dimension of business also comes into picture. It's very nicely woven around this concept, and it is matter of we realizing it. I think the way that you are putting is. is kind of our energies in this kind of lockdown are completely drained in the right way, right sense, that whatever we were wasting as an energy has been focused on the right things and right priorities. Maybe we were not able to get to the right priorities. Our own health, our own mental abilities, our own exercise, our focus on our creative hobbies, the time that we had to spend. I think it has been a great realization during this period. I believe that is what is the message I'm getting, right, Vidya?
Sure, Sirish. For example, if you'll allow me to say this, it has been my lifelong dream, and I've never had the time for it. I come from a very conservative, simple South Indian, Tamilian Brahmin family,
Mm.
and I was always raised with the Vedas playing in my house as a child, and I've
Mhm.
always wanted to learn the Vedas.
Oh,
And it is only during these 52 days that I have had the time to learn them. And I'm now on my eighth suktam, which I'm learning. And it is profoundly humbling. It is very peace giving. You feel almost fortunate to be able to say the Vedas. It takes a lot of practice, and it teaches you. It is not based in religion, it is based in spirituality, which is
mhm.
why it is so powerful. And it has a particular meter when you say the Vedas, the
Okay.
rhythm, which is very hard to get because it's Sanskrit, of course. But every day in the morning, if I'm able to dedicate 90 minutes just to sit and learn it, I think that it has been the most one of the best things I've done for myself in the last
Okay.
20 years.
I think it is so heartening and important to go back and do something that you were kind of putting it may not be put in a bucket list, but were aspiring, and that has come to your hand. It is really extremely satisfying. I believe that's the thing. Going back, maybe as a kind of logical end to our discussion. Maybe is there anything that so there are people who are uh, kind of taking it easy. Some people are taking it under pressure. Some people are actually extremely worried. They're individuals, business owners. So, is there any message from your side that you want to give, Vidya, so that they feel positive and they feel looking up to certain things to come?
Thank you, Sirish. Um, if I can go back to what Bassett Education India does, I think that is a direct answer to this question.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the life skills training business, and we believe that we really teach what matters. We
Mm-hmm.
take our training modules and we deliver them across the education space, schools, colleges, and we extend that into startups, entrepreneurial ventures, incubation centers, associations, SMEs, all the way up to global MNCs.
Mm-hmm.
So we offer executive coaching, we offer leadership training, we offer a wide range of corporate training programs. And Sirish, will you believe it or not, that this is the question that all our clients are asking us today is, what is it that we should all, take away from this?
Mm.
I have learned somehow that this is a challenge that I think that many of us cannot fathom because the worst has not even hit yet, maybe. Because, economic impact is always a domino impact. And it is only 50 days. So, what really happens will be known probably only 60 days from now, 90 days from now. And we'll have to see, how things fall out. But what I do know in my heart is that even in the worst case scenario, even in the worst case scenario, we as humans will be okay. We will
Okay.
be okay, and there is nothing more important than that. Point number two is flexibility and adaptability is something that we have learned. And I think that is going to really help us move forward. Three, I don't think we should ever forget our human side in terms of our engagement with our team members, with our investors, with anybody whom we talk to, and collaboratively moving forward. I think that we can just continue to have honest conversations with each other, just from the heart. So when you meet another colleague, another businessman who says, I don't know what's going to happen, you can just be a little reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the time to prove that, we are better than the other, or we have more market share than the other, or our margins are wider, or our balance sheet looks better. That would be a very petty way to think. If I could reach out to everybody in business, it is, we will all only come out of this if we are in it together. Let us celebrate each other's successes, be encouraging to each other, because we know that our best time is yet to come.
Wonderful. I think it's a matter of introspect. The kind of things that I summarized from the discussion is being, the introspection, which is important in this phase of time. This is going to be temporary. I think that's coming very sound and clear. Technology is definitely is a boon. We have to make sure that we use it sufficiently well, or not to get too much carried away by that. And health is wealth, and focus on yourself to be better human, and hence the business owner is a key to success. Maybe I think that is the way I would summarize. If you want to add anything, Vidya, onto that.
Yeah, I think basically you've said it all, Sirish. It's just that the border between the borders between Vidya the mother, Vidya the wife, Vidya the daughter-in-law, Vidya the CEO, Vidya the coach have all merged.
Okay.
We are all, it's all the same Vidya. So, to that extent, if all of us, I think, could look at ourselves more holistically, I think we'll have a better impact on society.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm really, this was a very insightful and interesting discussion, Vidya. A lot of insights and different perspective got exchanged. A lot of learning from that. I'm sure that everybody will definitely benefit out of it. So I wanted to formally thank you, Vidya, for spending this time on this platform.
Thank you, Sirish, and thank you for the good work that you're doing. I know that many people listen to you talk, and you interact with many and give people hope. You give people tips. You give people strategies. They're enriched. Your work has a lot of meaning. Feel good about your work. And I know that there are many people out there who are deeply grateful to you for keeping them engaged at a time when they need it the most with such valuable work.
I think I'm humbled with those words. Thanks for that. And we all wish you great success in whatever you take up, in whatever role.
Thank you, Sirish.
And Vidya, in all those fronts, including your professional front. And have a great success and best wishes for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sirish. You take care and stay safe. Thank you so
Bye.
much for having me.
Bye.
बिजनेस कोई भी हो, सक्सेस की नींव हम रखते हैं। बुलंदियों को छूने की, आपके अरमानों की उम्मीद जगाती जोत है, हर सपनों का हम स्रोत है। सही स्ट्रेटजी, परफेक्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग और बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए हम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आपकी स्वप्न पूर्ति करते हैं। स्त्रोत कंसल्टेक, सिनर्जाइजिंग ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन।